Okay, it is Tuesday, March 12th. I've been watching this congressional hearing questioning this her guy, the special counsel guy that investigated Biden. Yes, he knew what he's doing. He had all this shit, but he's too old and he didn't know what he was doing. And a jury might convict him, blah, blah, blah. And as everybody knows, even if you're the main sheep of the left and right, that should have been when they came out. And then he leaks it out right away, saying, "Well, I'm not going to go after him because he's old, and a jury might not find him guilty." That just everybody should know that's the lamest thing in the world. But this was set up. That here guy, the special counsel, was positioned by Trump when Trump was in office. I'm going to play this clip. It's probably all the way up to 5 minutes because I get 5 minutes each, but it says a lot. He's a Democrat, and he's going after this here guy, wondering, well, I don't want to spoil it until he talks about it, but now don't get me wrong. These documents were not planted in these two different places by anybody to get Biden, because it's admitted that he's had documents since he left office as vice president. Some of these were involved in writing 2 previous books. He's writing another book, and I don't know why they keep calling this guy the ghostwriter, because his name's Robert or something, or whatever. You can Google it. But through this whole fucking thing, it's ghostwriter. But what happened is when Trump got busted in 21, because after he left office, they said the archives said documents were missing. That's how that started. So Trump's in trouble over that with his other bullshit. No, this is agenda. I'm not on either side again. And so they got to figure out a way to clear Trump of this. So what do they do? Now, all these people in the Congress and the White House, Capitol Hill, they all know that there's a bunch of people that have documents. It's common knowledge to these people, maybe not all of them, but quite a few of them, that Trump's got documents, Biden's got documents. I'm sure Obama and Hillary have them too. But anyway, I want this other screen to time out. But so what they needed to do is they needed to clear Trump. They need to clear Trump. So the way to do that, somebody snitched on Biden, because the way that they're claiming they found out about the Biden documents was a couple of his attorneys found him in a locked closet in a room in a building called Penrose or something. And then it was, I'm actually remembering this. I Googled this earlier. Then it was like almost 40 days later before they go to look for shit at his house and, so on. But anyway, so this dude, like I said, is appointed by Trump. He's the special prosecutor. So you've got to find Biden guilty and yet clear him. So that's what's going to happen here. But I don't know if they can bring new charges if they wanted to, because, a special counsel just reports to the DA or whatever, to recommend or not a prosecution. So you can see there's more people involved in this. Don't make no mistake. To me, this just shows how strong and how bickering and how powerful the New World. There's 2 groups again in the New World Order. They call it left, right. They call it Republican, Democrat. Again, neither one of the agenda gives a fine shit about us. But I just want you to hear what this dude had to say. Let me get my other phone set up here, and off we go.
Parents' immigrant story and how that has shaped you. And their story is a story that so many of us know through our constituents. It's a story of America. It's a story that the guy who appointed you would end if he was in charge again. It's a story that most of the folks on the other side of the aisle seek to block every day in this room. But it's a story that's persuasive.
This is Saul, the Democrat.
You want your report to be received with credibility, is that right?
My goal was to provide a thorough explanation of my decision to the Attorney General, as I was required to do. And as I said in my opening statement, I felt that I needed to show my work.
And you want to be received as credible, right?
That would be helpful and laudable, yes.
Well, a lot has changed since 2018 for the person who appointed you, former President Trump. Since you were appointed, he was impeached for leveraging 350 million U.S. taxpayer dollars over Ukraine to get dirt on President Biden. He was then impeached a second time for inciting an insurrection. He was charged for possessing classified documents and obstructing justice. He was charged for paying for the silence of a porn star. He was charged in Georgia for for his role in January 6th. He was charged in the District of Columbia for his role in January 6th. He owes $400 million to the state of New York for defrauding the state through his taxes, and he has been judged a rapist. You want to be perceived, understandably, as credible, and so I want to first see if you will pledge to not accept an appointment from Donald Trump if he is elected again as president.
Congressman, I'm not here to testify
Seems like an easy
about
answer.
what will happen in the
Considering
future.
what I just laid out.
I'm here to talk about the report and the work that went into it. And
But you don't want to be associated
Coming up right here is the part that matters most.
with that guy again, do you?
Congressman, I'm not here to offer any opinions about what may or may not happen in the future. I'm here to talk about the work that went into the report, which I stand by.
There were no limits on you as to what you could charge President Biden by the Attorney General. Is that right?
The decisions that I made that are reflected in the report are my own.
And you did not bring any charges. Is that correct?
Correct.
There were no limits on John Durham and his investigation of the prior administration when he was special counsel. Is that right?
I don't believe I have the information required to answer the question about the Durham investigation.
Well, he sat in the same chair that you're sitting in. He told us that he also investigated President Biden and President Obama and did not bring any charges. President Biden sat for an interview with you over 2 days for approximately 10 hours. Is that right?
A little over 5 hours, Congressman.
Over 2 days.
Correct.
You know, that's in sharp contrast to a guy who did not sit for an interview when the Mueller investigation took place. That was Donald Trump. Did not sit for an interview when he was impeached in this committee room by the Judiciary Committee. Did not sit for an interview when the second impeachment occurred and he was invited to sit for an interview for his role in January 6th. And did not sit for an interview in the January 6th January 6th case or the classified documents case. Chairman also has not sat for an interview in his own subpoena, but Joe Biden has.
So thus, why would a Democrat have to sit for an interview when a Republican didn't? But it, let me all this let him finish.
I now want to turn you to the transcript and day 1, page 47. You said to President Biden, you appear to have a photographic understanding and recall of the House. Did you say that to President Biden?
Those words do appear on page 46.
And yet, then here he attacks Biden as having a good memory, as most of his report says it's no good.
Of the transcript.
Photographic is what you said. Is that right?
That word does appear on page 47 of the transcript.
Never appeared in your report, though. Is that correct? The word photographic?
That does not appear in my report.
I now want to show you and play a video of what is absolutely not photographic.
In the failing New York Times by an anonymous, gutless coward.
We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will
I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation.
And I watch our police and our firemen down at 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center.
And we did with Obama. We won an election that everyone said couldn't be won. This is the very definition of totalitarianism.
And let me begin by wishing you a beautiful, look, you remember this? Do you remember?
God bless the United States. The windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving
I'm the gentleman.
the whales, I think, a little batty.
I'm
And I
the
went to
gentleman
Puerto
as
Rico,
expired.
and I met with the president of the
The gentleman yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from North Carolina.
Then show how retarded Trump is. So you can, excuse me, let me use cognitive issues, mental. Then show Trump's issues compared to Biden's issues, and they're both fucked up. Like we all know, we're the laughing stock not only of our own country but the fucking world. To have these two idiots whatsoever to have ever been in a position of power, and they're both getting ready, one of them to be in the position of power, to be our fearless leaders. But look how that dude flip-flop. But this is all to say, look, they're both got mental issues, neither one are cognitive issues, therefore neither one of them should be charged with documents issues. And this is going to go away. Then And Trump's will go away eventually. They'll drop it or find him not guilty, whatever the fuck. But it's just going to disappear. Like I said, I'm going to tell you right now, 100%. This was a power struggle within. They had to go and snitch on or set up Biden or whatever so he could get busted. They could clear Biden. That's clear Trump. And the part that kind of gets me the most is Biden's lawyers are the one that supposedly found the original document. So were they bribed, blackmailed, or were they just getting tired of the old guy? Because they knew damn well if they went and turned them in what it was going to start. Because that's just the way that shit works. And see you later, bye.